Page 58. Oh, I realize now that probably you don't have the same pagings as I do, but it's the third page of the article. Let me read. Oh, and of course, let me show you here. All right. I want to keep Leanne on the hook, though. So I asked if he'd be interested in sleeping on an air mattress in our office for a discount rate. He offers 24 hours a night for 4 nights. Then I remember that we don't have an air mattress. My wife gave it away when we bought the trailer. So I borrow one from my friend John. He doesn't ask why I need it, and I don't tell. Is it ethical to rent out a mattress I borrowed from my friend? For $100, I'm willing to table the question. Let's go by parts because here we have something very tricky. All right. Look, there were two guys, right? And one rented out his trailer. Imagine you are fishing. So, two guys, so you have two lines you're trying to fish. Remember, in the end of a line, when you are fishing, there is a hook, okay? Like Captain Hook. All right. So, one guy, one fish, got the bait. He's going to rent my trailer. I want to keep the other guy on the hook and get the other fish too. So I offer the mattress and etc. Okay. So keep in mind, for example, let's imagine two companies are offering you a job opportunity. So you say yes to one company, but you're not completely sure things are going to be 100% great there. So you try to keep the other company on the hook. I don't know. You tell the other company you need some weeks to think while you work in the first one, something like that. Okay, sleeping air mattress. Now remember I explained couch as mattress, but now we know what is mattress. We have a picture of air mattress. Of course, air mattress because you use air to inflate the mattress and to sleep on. Okay, so discount rate here is like price, right? Sorry, price. So discount rate, of course, because he would. I don't remember if he says how much. Yes, remember he rented out his trailer for $45 a night. Okay. Now there is a discount rate, $25 a night, even though I think it's pretty expensive. Because, in a trailer, it's like a little house, right? You can have your privacy. You can, I don't know, you can come and go as you please and whatever, right? Um, Now sleeping on an air mattress in a person's office, it sounds much, much worse for $25. Well, but he said it was a discount rate, right? We don't have air mattress. My wife gave away, so gave to somebody, right? When we bought the trailer, so I borrow one from my friend John. He doesn't ask. I don't tell. Is it ethical to rent? Here's the part. Is it ethical to rent? I'm willing. Remember, willing. I have the disposition to table the question. Okay, so let's imagine we are in the middle of the class and you ask me a question. And then I say, can I table this question? So I get your question, I put on the table, so I suspend your question for a moment, and then in the end, I will go back to that. All right. So there is this moral dilemma, right? Should I rent something that is not mine? I will think about that question later. I will table the question. I'll get the question, put on the table. Later on, I will go back. All right, so let's go to exercises. First is read the paragraph. Okay, now let's answer. First question. How can you keep somebody who is interested in buying? Let me give you a more concrete situation. Let's imagine you are trying to sell your car. And you want to sell your car for 40,000 reals. 40,000 reals. Pay a lot of attention. Okay, and then one guy said, yes, maybe I will. I don't know. And he says just that. And then you bring the price down to $38,000. And then on that day, you receive two calls. One is from a new guy. He said, oh, I want to buy your car for sure. Let's meet. And today I will buy your car. 38,000 reals, right? This is your first call. The second call is the other guy. And he says, look, I think I will buy your car for 40,000. I just need one day to think or some time to think. Okay. So a nice way to make business here is to keep this guy of 38,000 on the hook while you wait for the guy of 40,000 to answer. Because imagine if you send your car now to the 38,000 guy, imagine if the other guy would buy your car. So you lose $2,000, right? Or reals. Now imagine the opposite. You say no to this guy, the 38,000 guy, and then the 40,000 guy doesn't buy your car. So you lost the opportunity of selling your car. Okay. So my question for you is, what kind of excuse would you tell the 38,000 guy to keep him on the hook while you wait for the answer from the other guy? Okay. Let me see. No, I don't have any other questions. So let's go to the next paragraph. Once you've rented out extra space in your home, everything starts to look like a dormant cash cow. I post my daughter's red wagon, my wife's Vitamix blender, and my landlord's weed whacker. The moral code I follow on these items, which aren't technically mine, is what they don't know won't hurt them. I think it comes from Socrates. I put up a flyer. I put a flyer up in our neighborhood with the headline, need a weed whacker, and then a list of my tools and other items for rent. I also announce my available services via email, Twitter, Facebook, and a blog post. Let's go by parts, right? Well, once you've rented out extra space in your house, everything starts to look like a dormant cash cow. A cash cow is a source of income. So, for example, my main cash cow is CCA. I work for CCA, and this is, yes, I think this is where most of my money comes from. All right. Okay, CCA is my cash cow. But CCA is not a dormant cash cow, because dormant, literally speaking, means sleeping. So, for example, I have a machine to make cups, but I don't use the machine. So that machine is just a dormant cash cow. It can wake up if I do the right thing and start giving me money, but now is a dormant cash cow. So imagine if you realize that you can rent out your some space in your house, then you start looking around because everything is like a cash cow. You look at, I don't know, your TV and say, now I can rent out my TV. You think about your house on the beach and you think I can rent my house on the beach. You think about yourself and etc., right? So everything starts looking like a cash cow. And because he had this idea that everything started looking like a cash cow, he decided to start renting out things. So that's why he rented his daughter's red wagon. You have a picture of a red wagon there. My wife's Vitamix blender. Blender is like, if you're going to make smoothie, you make smoothie in a blender. So there is this fancy blender called Vitamix. All right. So Vitamix blender. And the landlord's weed whacker. Weed whacker, again, is that that green thing beside the daughter's red wagon that you use to mow the lawn, to cut the grass, right? Landlord, remember I told you that my apartment is rented out. So the woman that lives in my apartment, her name is Jade, okay? I am Jade's landlord, all right? She lives in my house, my apartment, and she pays the rent to me. So I am her landlord. Okay, so the moral code, I follow in these items, which aren't exactly mine, is what they don't know won't hurt them. I think it comes from Socrates. Of course, he's being ironic and trying to be funny. I put up a flyer. Flyer is like a paper. You put, like when your cat is missing, your dog is missing. So you print pictures of your dog, and those pictures that you put on walls and etc., those are flyers. So he put up a flyer, and in the flyer there is the headline: need a weed whacker. Okay. And then he has the list, and of course he used other technological ways as well. All right. So first of all, stop the video and read this part. Next, let's answer the questions. First question: what do you think is your cash cow nowadays? Could even be your mother, right? Next one: what will be, you hope, let's say, your cash cow in 10 years? Next question: do you live in a rented house? If yes, describe your landlords. You are your landlord. Next question: what do people use a weed whacker for? What do people use a weed whacker for? Next question: if you wanted to rent out some of your personal belongings, how would you offer those personal belongings? What would you use to let people know you are renting out your personal belongings? Okay, last paragraph of that page. I mentioned to my wife that I've put up her new Vitamix blender. I mentioned to my wife that I've put her new Vitamix blender up for rent on a site that calls itself a person rental marketplace, which not only helps people make or save money, but also helps the environment. Regardless, my wife is not cool with that. I apologize, but leave the ad online. Well, vocabulary. I mentioned to my wife. I put up her blender for rent. The description of the site. Oh, regardless. Okay, it's like despite this. All right. Brazilians like to say independently, but independently is just a false cognate. Okay, regardless is better. Okay, so let's continue. Uh, so first, read the text. Second, what do people use blenders for? Third, have you been saving money? Why? Um, and I think that's it for this page.